welcome to Crafty Crochet. Thanks for joining me today. So today guys, we're going to work on a mitten for adult, and on my table here guys, I've got one hand of the mitten that we are going to work on today. So it's very easy guys, very simple. And here we have 3 flower embellishment. So guys, what you need is your 4mm hook, a pair of scissors, tape measure, stitch marker, yarn needle, and a double knitting yarn of your choice guys. This one is from Knitting Essentials, Sparkle. And get your cup of tea guys, your juice, whatever else you need, and let's work on this mitten together. So what we're going to do, first thing, make our slip knot and chain 7 inches as chain. So guys, you know the drill, you chain and you measure as you go along. So if you need a bit more than 7 inches, then guys you chain a bit more, but 7 inches is enough for me. So you're just gonna keep it straight guys on the right side, do not twist, and you're going to insert your hook into your first chain to form a ring. Do a slip stitch and you're gonna chain 1, and you're going to work 1 single crochet into each chain. At the end you work a slip stitch into your chain 1, and you're going to work this until you have 2.5 inches in total guys. So very simple, very easy. Beginners, you would love this. It's going to be, sorry guys, all in single crochets. Jump at the end, do a slip stitch to join and chain 1, and guys you just continue to work a single crochet into each stitch until your work measures from top to bottom 2.5 inches. But if you need more guys, you can chain, you can work a bit longer, because this is it guys, that's how it looks. So if you need a bit down here guys, instead of doing 2.5, you may need to do 4 inches, but for me this is enough for me, so I'm doing 2.5 inches there. So I've got my 2.5 inches. So what we're going to do now, we are going to work an increase, and we are going to increase 2 stitches each row until our work measures 4.5 inches from top to bottom. So for the increase, you do your chain 1 as usual, and you work 2 single crochet into the first or second stitch, and continue to work single crochet into each stitch. So your next increase, you can work it into your second to last or your last stitch. So now I'm going to work my second increase for this row. So you just work 2 single crochets into that stitch, and I'm going to work a slip stitch into my chain 1 to join to complete that row. So this is what you're going to work until your work measures 4.5 inches. So with your 4.5 inches from top to bottom completed, what we're going to do now, we're going to work on the thumb. So count 8 stitches from your starting point, you know, where you're going to chain 1 right here to here, put a stitch marker down, and from your right you count another 8 and put a stitch marker down, and that's where we're going to work on. So chain 1 single crochet into the first stitch, 1 single crochet into each stitch to your stitch marker, can remove, and insert your hook into your next stitch marker right here, can remove. There, and continue to work single crochets. So at the end you're going to slip stitch into your chain 1, chain 1, and you're going to just work on these stitches here. Work 4 more rows. What we're going to do now, we're going to decrease 2 stitches every row until we have 3 stitches remaining. So chain 1, and here goes for your decrease. So that's your first, and continue to work single crochet into each stitch. So you work your decrease at your first one at your first stitch and the other at your last stitch. And my last 2 stitches, so I'm going to work another decrease. So work 2 single crochets together and slip stitch into your chain 1 to join that round. And you just continue until 3 stitches remaining. So pull up your yarn and leave enough tail end to stitch. So turn it inside out, guys. So you're going to rejoin your yarn into this corner stitch right here. Slip stitch to secure, chain 1, and into that very same stitch work 1 single crochets. So work 1 single crochets into each stitch all the way around. At the end, slip stitch into your chain 1, you're going to work this decrease until you have 2.5 inches. So chain 1, and we're going to decrease 2 stitches every row until we have about 8 stitches remaining. So into your first stitch, your second, work 2 single crochets together, then 1 single crochet into each stitch, and at your second to last and last stitch you're going to work another 2 single crochet together. You're going to slip stitch into your chain 1 to join. So you're going to pull up your yarn and leave enough just to stitch, guys. Turn it inside out. and stitch, weave in your ends. So I've weaved in all my ends, guys, and this is how I'm looking. So what you're going to do now is make 3 flower. I've got a tutorial on how to make the perfect 5-petal flower, so you're going to just take a look at it, guys, and make 3 and stitch it down right on top here. So I'm just gonna stitch all the way around, guys. So this is how I'm looking at the end, guys. And if you have a nice little gold or silver button, guys, you can just stitch one until you made a flower. So this is it, guys. So guys, if you like, give me a thumbs up. I hope you have fun making, and don't forget to subscribe, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Ta-da!